Hello everyone out there in YouTube land, it's me, and welcome back to the Novelist. What's going on here, I wondered to myself. Well, apparently this is the last month. Said my drawings are as good as Mommy's paintings. He was lying to you. What's going on here?
3 days in, I'm still trying to figure out where to take the new piece. It's changing as I go, which is always exciting and sort of the point, but this one feels a little aimless. I keep snapping out of a daze and realizing I've been staring out the window for 5 minutes instead of working. When we first got here, I was excited to have a studio with so many windows and so much natural light, but now it feels almost like a cage. Why be this close to nature but not be, well, in it? Actually, cage isn't the right word. This place is beautiful, and there are so many more trees than back home. I guess it's more of a reminder when it's right there the whole time, not just an idea or something for the weekend. Anyway, back to the painting. I'm not going to get anything done on it sitting here writing.
Alright, let's look around for some clues. Yeah, we've already seen that. She's got some good stuff. Let's see here. Home for a stunning display of natural beauty at Chaco National Forest is a perfect destination for hunters, wilderness enthusiasts, and weekend campers alike. One-of-a-kind rock formations provide exciting challenges for climbers. The many canyons offer scenic hiking experiences, and the swimming opportunities are many. Located less than 5 hours from Portland and less than 6 from the Central Coast, the Chaco is perfect for a summer getaway. For more information or to request a brochure, please call the ranger station at blah 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 blah. I hope I pronounced that right. I guess it doesn't really matter, does it? Time to pensively stare out the window like everyone else. Alright. Find some more clues for everybody. Rotary dial telephone. There's a blender over there. Hot damn. What's for dinner? Ooh. Quiche Lorraine and salad. Still watching their waistlines. It's been on every single one since then. What is this? Blast off at Booster Bay. Come enjoy all the excitement of Booster Bay this weekend. We have a very special discount for all the young astronauts out there. Children under the age of 12 who bring their official Booster Bay Astrojet get free admission to the park. Take a flight to remember on our world-famous rocket coaster. Explore the inner workings of 3 model spacecraft at our educational city in the sky. Treat yourself to burgers, ice cream, cosmic cotton candy, and more in the food court of the future. There's never been a better time to visit Booster Bay, and you can't beat the price.
Anne, what's the latest with you? I hope you're doing better than I am. I'm going a little stir crazy. Dan loves it here, but he's just riding all day long, so he could be anywhere. I could use a change of scenery. I've walked every trail in the woods and even started a few of my own. It's great getting away from the city, but I wouldn't exactly call this roughing it. Tommy's certainly having a good time exploring the woods. Sometimes we go together, and if I'm in the studio, he knows he can play outside where I can see him, and to stay away from the cliff. Do you remember when we were kids trying to jump the creek in the woods behind the house? I think Tommy's getting into that phase now, climbing trees and all that. Oops, I got a little carried away there. You probably don't need to hear about all of our outdoor adventures. Sorry about that. Well, let me know how you're doing. Love, Linda.
There never seems to be anything here in the shitter. I find myself not really using the lights that much to move around. He's got his own bathroom. There are like 3 bathrooms in this house. This is a new one. One from each bedroom. It's like 2 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. Well, I'm not going to be... Stop scratching my ear here real quick. I'm not going to be getting in there while Dan the man is in there screwing around this little typewriter. Nobody can get in, even me.
I've got to stay on the book. This is my chance to do something people remember, something that matters. If this one isn't good enough, there might not even be a next one. Certainly not one without all sorts of publisher strings attached. This is why we saved up enough to take the summer off. I'm out of excuses. Of course, a long weekend would be fun, but that's also the problem. How do you stay hungry when you've gotten used to weekend getaways? How do you recapture that feeling of being a broke college kid chasing a dream? How do you get back out on that limb again, scared it's gonna break, but inching out anyway? Listen to me. Wound up so tight. Maybe taking one night off might help after all.
Dan has 8 clues to find today. 8.
Here we go.
Well, opportunity, not a burden. Jim said you'd never make it. He said you're a joke. Jim said you'd never make it. He said you're a joke. One page at a time. Do not fear death so much, but rather the inadequate life. Bertolt Brecht. Okay. An idea that is not dangerous is unworthy of being called an idea at all. Oscar Wilde. You could be working a regular job right now.
Penny, thanks so much for your letter. It made my day. Tramer's Way came out a while ago now, so I don't get letters like this too often. Writing can be a pretty isolating profession at times, which makes it a big boost to hear that someone out there is getting something from my work. Your support means the world to me. To answer your question, I'm indeed in the midst of writing a new book. I don't have a title or a release date yet, but I'm plugging away on it slowly but surely. I plan to finish it by the end of summer, and I truly hope you enjoy it when it comes out. Thanks again for your kind words. Dan Kaplan. Having fun?
Okay, so we got everybody's clues. Alright, I just saw you. Where'd you go? Yeah. Booyah.
Okay, be safe.
I'm going out for a hike. I finally got through to Dan, at least a little. He said I was nagging him, so I showed him the pamphlets Dr. Walker gave me. He couldn't explain away science, though he did try. I could tell he didn't like it, but he signed up to run 2 days a week. I wish it was more, but I'll take what I can get.
Oh, that's right, I got up. What are your thoughts? Camping
Away for a
back.
bit.
Bingo, there's that. Oh, you son of a bitch. Let's see here. Yeah, what do you think of that?
Haven't had a drink on a weeknight in 2 weeks. Came up with a new slogan. Write sober, rewrite sober, rewrite sober. Hemingway it's not, but it's good to smooth things over with Linda and Tommy a bit. Gotta admit, I don't miss hangovers, but still, I do sometimes miss sitting down with a drink and a crazy idea. Could always be better.
How was work?
Could always be better.
Firewood. That's the stuff down by the door.
Fine. All right.
Where's Tommy? Haven't seen him in a while.
Here we go.
Oh, there you are.
Be careful, honey.
It's a me. Yeah, we've already established that. Rocket.
You having a good day?
Yeah.
I don't even know where his rocket is. So I guess we'll go with this. Everybody's in bed. From a fan, like a cage. Alrighty. After dinner, Linda showed her family the pictures of El Chaco from the brochure she'd ordered, and Dan and Tommy agreed that it was a beautiful spot, even if it wasn't either of their first choices. So they went camping for the weekend, and on Saturday, Linda took the family for a trail she'd found. Hiked to a peaceful river for an afternoon swim. She felt that all was right with the world. Dan had grown so intrigued by the idea of a night on the beach that he talked Linda and Tommy into taking a day off at the big trip and still doing the bonfire. He found a new idea for his book that night, and though he still missed days of work, he was much more fun to be around the ensuing trip. Tommy was so proud of finding the free admission special for Booster Bay that it hurt him even more when they didn't go. He couldn't understand why his parents hadn't taken him when it didn't cost any money. He didn't play with his rocket for a week. I had no idea where his rocket was.
I gotta call Paul again.
Anne, I just got off the phone with Mom. She told me about Grandma Joe. I know we expected it sooner rather than later, but this is hitting me so much harder than when Granddad died last year. Do you remember going to Grandma Joe's house after school on Wednesdays and playing until Mom got off work? How Grandma Joe always had a surprise for us? Even if it was just cookies in the oven, she'd always time it so the whole house would smell like them when we got there. I hope the minister captures those little moments because they don't seem as little now. I wish the circumstances were different, but it will still be good to see you at the funeral. What am I saying? You probably won't even get this until after the funeral. I guess I just needed to write anyway. Love, Linda.
Yeah, funerals are awful. call Paul first thing tomorrow morning. Any possible way to move it? Is this thing announced yet? Cool, man. Lentil soup. Too hot for anything heavier. Dan, big news. Got a call from Bracket Books in Eugene. They want you to do a reading from Wynn's Song. Maybe even some Q&A, some book signings, all that good stuff. Think you should do it. In fact, I'm going to be pretty pissed if you don't. Bracket is a big outlet, so if this goes well, orders for the new book will definitely go up. I don't need to remind you how long it's been since Streamer's Way came out. If you don't keep your name out there, no one will even notice when you finish the new book, whatever it's called. Hell, speaking of the new one, why don't you read some of it too? Maybe the second chapter you sent me last month. That one was pretty good. Bracket Books, Eugene, the 21st. See you there. Paul. P.S. You know the game, right? The long game, right? Nailing this one can mean an even bigger advance to the next book. Well, so everybody's got their pressures, and hi. Everybody's got their pressures, everybody's got things going on in their lives.
I walked out to the bluff to remember Grandma Joe and say goodbye. And on the way back, I started thinking about what it really means to have a family, to make that your focus. She seemed to take such joy in being surrounded by her family, providing for them, taking care of them. I hope I never took that for granted. When I got back to the house, a question hit me that I can't get out of my head. What will Tommy think about Dan and me when he gets older? And what if Tommy has kids of his own? I can't even begin to think of myself as a grandmother. I haven't even been a mother for that long, and I'm still feeling my way through what it means to be a good one. At least I'll always have an example. I miss you, Grandma Joe, and I'll never forget you. I promise.
I have a hard time getting used to that whole walking through me thing.
I don't know.
Afford to miss it? You could afford to miss anything, Dan. Go in your office and see what there is to find in here. There doesn't seem to be anything to find in here. Hello?
Oh no. Joe's funeral's the same day as the signing in Eugene, and Paul says they can't move it. He'll understand if I bail because he knows Linda, but Grovefield is a different story. They won't give a damn why I missed it. They'll just get a memo and put it in a spreadsheet somewhere and write me off just a little bit more. And it's not just the timing. If I do the reading, I've got to get that chapter in shape. It's not even remotely ready for anyone to see it. Can't worry about what Paul says. He's my agent. He's supposed to stroke me. And what about Tommy?
Most of you here knew my grandmother. For those who didn't, I truly wish you had. She was an example for all of us. Her warmth, her caring, and her smile were impossible to forget. It's still hard for me to believe she's gone. Without her, the world is...
Hey, Mommy. I'm sorry. Hi, honey.
Well, I got all the clues for Linda.
Can't
Yeah,
beat me.
funerals just aren't a lot of fun. I've gone to many of them in my day. And it's just not a lot of fun to be in that situation. I just wish I had more to say about it. It's just, times like these, when you try and say something, but nothing seems to be adequate. Doesn't seem to be anything else of import up here, so we'll head back downstairs. Okay, so I've found all of Dan's stuff. I found all Linda's stuff. I gotta find the rest of Tommy's clues. Okay. Hello?
Hi, honey.
keeps putting photos up all over the place. Kid's a regular Rembrandt.
Huh.
Hey,
Hi.
how's my little man?
I'm good.
Mark the 21st of this month in your calendars. For one day only, watch the world-famous Fighter 5 as they scream across the sky. Witness death-defying feats of flying at a display unlike anything you've ever seen. Guaranteed to blow you away. Don't miss it.
Whoa. We've been back from camping for 3 days, and I'm still buzzing. Before we left, I did some research and found 2 great hikes, and I put together enough food for us to cook every meal with a real fire instead of having to worry about hiking back to the car or going into Prineville for supplies. It was just what I needed. Sleeping under the stars, swimming in the lake, exploring new trails, even drinking a few beers by the campfire. Not a soul around but us.
Follow the sounds.
Vroom, vroom.
Hi, honey.
Hey, Mom.
He used to call and buy a ticket. He's coming to the funeral. Ah, damn, everybody's going upstairs. Okay, here we go. We're gonna look around now.
Just be here for me.
Lynn, I'm so sorry. Tell me what I can do. Just got back from the trip. Or trips, I should say. Once I got it in my head that a night on the beach would be good for the stress, I was able to talk Linda and Tommy into knocking a day off the big trip to do the bonfire anyway. Turned out to be a good idea. Spending the evening on the beach reminded me of a church retreat we did back in 7th grade. The smell of the bonfire gave me such a strong memory of a crush I had on Jenny something. Or was it Jennifer? I can't remember. But I do remember those flushed schoolboy emotions. I think I can use those for the scene at the dance.
Hey, Dad.
Hey, Tom.
I keep seeing this photo over and over and over again.
I'm sure she is, honey. I'm sure she is, honey.
Is she in heaven?
Magazine says there are going to be tons of planes. We're going to work on that chapter first. Well, what I'm going to do is it the phone in the bedroom or the phone downstairs in the kitchen that I got to use? That one. What did Tommy want again? The magazine, I think. The one on the table? Alright. Morning, Slappy. Dan couldn't bear the thought of Linda going to the funeral alone, so he bought a ticket and flew to Denver with her. The funeral was hard for Linda, but having Dan there made it easier to bear. They stayed up late the night of the funeral as Linda told Dan stories about Grandma Joe, and they talked to maybe being grandparents themselves one day. Dan sat Tommy down and did his best to explain why they couldn't go to the air show. Tommy had a crying fit. Dan eased the blow by promising to take him to the next one. Then they drove to town and went from store to store until they found a plain toy for Tommy, who loved it. Paul was livid when Dan called and said he couldn't make the reading. Dan was used to his agent laying into him, though. What really worried him was that he hadn't gotten a chance to work on the chapter Paul had asked him to read. That gnawed at him. He knew he couldn't afford to keep putting his book second if he wanted it to be his best work. Okay. Mr. and Mrs. Kaplan, after additional consideration, I'd like to augment my recommendation. I believe that the best course of action for Tommy's development will be continued tutoring throughout the school year. It will be important to coordinate with his teachers and make sure the lessons are aligned. As before, encouragement from both of you is a critical component. Mr. Kaplan, I have observed that Tommy looks to you in particular for validation, which I believe comes from a connection he's made with your profession. If at all possible, you should be a part of his tutoring, although Mrs. Kaplan is more than capable of aiding him as well. I hope I haven't overstepped my bounds by contacting you, but Tommy is a bright boy, and I think with the proper support he can not only catch up, but excel. I understand you'll be leaving town shortly, but please don't hesitate to contact me by phone during the school year if I can be of help. Dr. Donald Samuels. You know, those last few times I've actually been, floating around making compromises in the black and white part. I haven't seen any of the logs for Claire Bradford or whatever her name is. It's probably because I haven't been looking. Oh, you stupid kid. Daddy says the candy store's our secret. I keep seeing this silly photo. Well, maybe silly is not the right way to describe it, but I keep seeing it. It's probably like the 5th time I've seen it. Must mean a lot to him, I guess. Well, anyway. Nothing else going on here? Oh.
What about my friends?
You'd make new ones, buddy.
Daddy helps me. I can do it. I can do it. He's typing again. Wait.
We just got back from the funeral. It was even harder than I expected, but it was moving to see just how many people loved Grandma Joe. She really was a special woman. Dan was there every step of the way, even though he got in a lot of trouble for missing that book signing. I don't think it's fair how mad they got at him about that. It was a funeral. but I guess that doesn't count for much in the business world.
Yeah, 'cause the only thing that seems to matter is, money.
You can say it. If I got a real job.
I could even go full-time if...
You can say it. If I got a real job.
Linda, I'm pleased to meet you. Well, by letter anyway. I'm surprised we've never met considering how small the art community is, but from your letter it sounds like you may not have been as active as you'd liked for a few years. Regardless, I'm very excited to tell you more about our work here. At a high level, the program is simple. We're a collective of artists who use our work for the betterment of our city. We host fundraiser galleries, donate our work to charity auctions, and teach art classes. We offer both paid and unpaid courses, and all proceeds from the paid courses go to local charities, usually the food bank. Our free courses are part of a pioneer program we've recently started where we provide a safe place for victims of violence, members of our local AA chapter, and even parolees trying to get back on their feet. The program is still in its early stages, but we've been very pleased with the results. It's a very exciting time. Anyway, you'll find more details in the enclosed information packet. I'd love to talk to you about joining in person when you return to Laurelton. Rachel Pittman, founder, Art for All. That sounds really cool. It's always nice to do things for people when you can. Hello, what have we here? Mr. Kaplan, we have reached a decision and are pleased to offer you the position of Assistant Professor of Literature. We had many applicants for the position, and after careful review, we feel your history with the university and your status as a published author will give you a unique connection to our students. We apologize for the lateness of the decision, but administrative adjustments delayed our annual budget review, and the position was only recently approved for hire. Professor Strode will handle your course load until September 21st, at which point you will take over classes. We will provide temporary housing for you during the speedy transition, but need your answer as soon as possible. Your offer letter is enclosed. Please sign and return it at your earliest convenience. Thomas Castle, Literature Department Chair at Hardesty University. Well, that's kind of cool, too. Hey, quiche, Lorraine, and Salad, still watching their waistlines. God, all three of these guys are scrawny. It's like none of them eat at all. Look.
Hey,
Waistline.
Mommy. Hey, Pumpkin.
And the kid. I don't think Tommy even has any eyes. I don't even know. I can never tell. He's always looking down.
Paul, there were days when I thought this moment would never come. When I finish writing this, I'm going to pack everything up and drop the manuscript in the mail. My palms are sweating just thinking about letting it go. I had no idea how hard it would be to finish this one. It took everything I had, and it's hard to look back over the summer without laughing. To think the plan was to get away from everything and just focus on the book. But you can't get away from yourself. Life doesn't give a damn about geography. I don't know when you'll get this or where we'll be when you do, or what you'll think. I know what I think, but objectivity left the building months ago. Some days I think this is the one. Other days I have a sick feeling in the pit of my stomach that says my career is over. All I can do is drop this in the mail and hope. Here goes.
Okay, and what have we here? Hardesty University. Oh, he is going to mail it in.
Sure.
Well, alright then. Will they understand? I don't know. Would they? Probably not.
How long's the drive?
2 hours. We'd have to move. Paul gave it to me today. He was righteously pissed about missing that reading. I don't know. I don't think he's pissed at me exactly. He knows why I missed the reading. Grovefield came down hard on him, and he had to vent somewhere more likely. But still, damn. The worst part is the chapter still needs work. I have to find some time to clean it up. Soon.
Got the envelope in the mail.
That might work.
I think it's time.
Search the house for more clues for Linda and Tommy.
I just talked things over with Dan, and we really have some serious thinking to do. The job at Hardesty sounds like a great opportunity for him, but moving would be so hard on us. I really want to join Art for All, and after everything we've been through with Tommy, it would be better for him to have some stability. I could even go full-time if Dan found a steady job, though I know he can't do that if he takes on extra tutoring with Tommy, and I'd never fault him for that. If we stay in Laurenton and Dan works with Tommy, I could still do the program part-time. Either way, it'd be better for Tommy and me than moving. But I know that professorship would mean so much to Dan. Can't everything be simple just once?
No. Things have a tendency to get really damn complicated.
Okay.
Open the door! Wow, you just phased through that. No, that's not what I want to do. Second painting for the full-time application. Well, I gotta go find Tommy's clue of death. I don't know. Hey, that's a new one. Where'd you go, Tommy?
It was like...
There you are. My friend's my new backpack at school. So I need the envelope for what's his face, and the second painting for what's her face. Not that one, the second one. This one. There are no compromises for this decision. Well, let's take a look at what else we got. I don't think there are going to be any compromises for anything that we do here. Backpack's probably up in Tommy's room, I would think. And as of course for the letter, that's in the office. No, the only way that Dan gets to do what he wants to do is to do it. This sucks. This is the one I'm picking. So is this where everything falls apart and everybody kills everybody else? I keep likening all this to The Shining, these three being by themselves. Okay. Dan agonized over the decision, but in the end he couldn't pass up the opportunity to take a professorship. A job with a steady paycheck that revolved around his craft gave him hope that writing could finally become his future, that he could devote his professional life to it and make his dreams a reality. He signed and mailed the offer letter the next morning. While Linda understood why Dan had accepted the position at Hardesty, it did nothing to ease her disappointment over leaving Laurenton. Blairstown had no programs like Art for All, but she refused to give up on her painting, and she put on a successful gallery in November. Her only regret was the feeling that she'd had to do it on her own, that her husband didn't truly support her career. Tommy didn't handle the relocation well. His first year of school had been hard enough, but being a stranger on his first day of the new year, surrounded by children who already knew each other, was even harder. It took him months to adjust, and he never understood why they'd had to move and start over. And that's how the Kaplan summer in the house on the cliff came to an end. It was much more than just a single season on the coast. Dan's choices there would come to define the rest of his life. Dan finished his novel, and when he sent it to Paul, he felt he had something good. Deep down, he knew it wasn't a classic, but it did well enough that he was able to keep writing for a living. He did better than that, in fact. He became a successful lecturer, and his books were well received for the rest of his career. By the time Tommy went back to school, he was in no better shape than when they'd come to the house. He continued to struggle with reading, withdrew into himself to avoid the bullying, and never followed his passion for drawing. He stayed in his shell through high school, where he got along but never thrived. By his 20s, he'd settled into a life with forgettable jobs and few close friends. When they left the house, Dan and Linda's love was deeper than it had ever been. They spent the rest of their lives on an endless honeymoon, traveling and embracing a life in a way that few couples ever do. They grew old together, always secure in a deep love that carried them through whatever life handed them. Well, at least there's that. Dan would look back on that summer from time to time and wonder why he had made the choices he had. He never quite shook the feeling that the voice in his head had been more than just a voice, and in quiet moments he even imagined that he had been a character in someone else's novel. At times he was almost sure of it. That was actually really cool. I could relate to Tommy being what he is, or how he reacted to the whole situation. Withdrawing into himself, and ending up in a lot of dead-end jobs, few close friends. That kind of mimics my life from back when I was younger. I just find it kind of difficult to grasp the whole concept of what passes for compromise in this game, where you basically either get your way or you're disappointed, and life doesn't work that way, not really, at least I don't think. It just seems like there's no gray area, it's all black or white, either get your way or you're miserable. I don't think that was necessarily what the people who made this game were going for, but it just kind of came across that way a lot of the times. Like everybody was just so unhappy, that because they didn't get their way for a particular evening, it just seemed kind of off-putting at times. It's like, okay, life doesn't really work that way. But it had a nice story, it really did. I was glad I was at least able to help their marriage out. But Tommy, I wasn't able to do enough for him. Kind of sucks. Apparently there are like a number of different endings for this, depending which way you go. So, yeah, that's kind of cool, I guess. I've never been the greatest at commentary. Well, anyway, that's that. That's The Novelist. Neat little game. This theme would actually make a great, like a horror film kind of theme. It's kind of interesting. It has that sort of eerie vibe to it. Well, anyway, that's all for now. Until next time, kiddies. Cheers.